you so much, Dylan. Good morning. I'm Lisa Burby, and my pronouns are she and her. I'm the worship associate this morning. I'm pleased to welcome you to the Unitarian Universalist Fellowship of Huntington that we also call UUFH. Hello to those of you who are home watching us on Zoom and later on YouTube. I'd like to extend a special welcome to anyone who's new today. If you are new to our congregation and want to speak with someone, please just to learn more about us, just visit the welcome table in the social hall or speak to one of the greeters you met on the way in. Today is the second of our Summer Sunday Service series. I wanted to make sure I didn't, that's a tongue twister. We have an intriguing array of speakers all summer, including UUFH members, community leaders, and a guest minister. Before you leave today, you can pick up a flyer right there on the back ledge, or you can always look on our website at uufh.org. And as we settle into worship, know that whoever you are, whomever you love, and wherever you are on your life's journey, you are welcome here. Today, our topic is Rebel Rhythms, and our speaker is Chris Thaler, an Emmy Award-winning filmmaker with a deep-rooted passion for storytelling and a lifelong love of music. With a career that spans across visual media and sound, Chris has built a reputation for creating emotionally resonant, thought-provoking documentaries that explore the human condition through intimate narratives and powerful visuals. He said from an early age, music was a constant companion and creative catalyst. Whether performing, collecting, or simply listening, Chris has always seen music as both a personal refuge and a universal language. He was drawn to protest music as a way of learning and understanding the plight of repressed people and injustices around our world. The deep connection to music and its power naturally informed the filmmaking voice, where rhythm, tone, and emotion are as important as image and dialogue. Over the years, Chris has worked on a wide range of documentary projects, from music-centric profiles to social justice stories, always bringing a cinematic eye and an ear for nuance. When not behind the camera, Chris continues to explore the intersection of film and music, often collaborating with composers, sound designers, and musicians to shape immersive audiovisual experiences that resonate long after the credits roll. I am very pleased to welcome Chris this morning, and for us to experience a morning of music and a new understanding of how it can be used for social change. And I want to give you all permission right now to feel free to move as the Spirit moves you to dance whenever you hear the music you're going to experience this morning. Our opening words this morning are Connected in Goodness by Reverend Sharon Wiley. For millennia, people have gathered together to hear stories, to root for the underdog, to jeer for the evil and the unkind. We see in our stories mirrors to our own lives, where we hope good things will happen to good people and that evil will be vanquished. This morning we gather for story, for cheering and jeering, for hope and for justice. May this ancient story shed new light on our own lives, and may we know ourselves connected to millions of listeners who have come before us and millions of listeners who will come after. Let us worship together. This morning, Jennifer Sapel will light our chalice. The flaming chalice is the symbol of Unitarian Universalism. Our chalice lighting words are of Faith of Wholeness by Reverend Deborah Falk. A chalice lit in our midst is a symbol of our liberal faith, a faith built on the foundation of freedom, reason, and tolerance, a faith sustained by acts of kindness and justice, a faith that visions a world flourishing with equality for all her people, a faith that demands the living out of goodness, a faith that requires thoughtfulness, a faith of wholeness. This tiny flame is the symbol of the spark of all of this within each of us. Please join me in singing, thank you, this our affirmation. The words will be on the screen.
Hello, everybody. Thank you very much for having me today. I'm going to preface this by saying I am in no way, shape, or form a public speaker, so please forgive the lack of polish on this presentation, but I'm going to do my best because it's really much more about the songs and the music that I think are important to hear, so I'm fighting through this part of it. Thanks to Dylan for opening us up with Get Up, Stand Up by Bob Marley, one of the great protest songwriters of all time, probably, and somebody who really embodied the rebel-rousing side of protest song. The initial idea for this program was started because of a side venture that I have, which is an involvement in a cafe in town. The mission of that cafe is to create a safe space for community to gather and experience art and music. We wanted to create programming that would enlighten people and entertain them. And one of the first ideas I had was for this program called Rebel Rhythms. And I found it interesting. There's a song by an artist out of England called Grace Petrie, and the song is called I Wish the Guardian Knew I Existed. And it is a powerful song because it talks about the idea that most people conceive protest music in a single way. They think of it as it happened during this very short period of time in the 1960s, or if you're older, you might think in the 1930s with Woody Guthrie. But she really talks about how protest music has been around since the beginning of time and is more prevalent now than it has ever been. And you just need to be able to find it and understand that the words that are being said for a reason, and that reason, when it is a song of protest, I believe is just to educate and enlighten people to an injustice that is happening in the world, whether it revolves around the environment, or war, or fascism, or women's rights, or gay rights, or any other myriad of topics. So my goal with the program was to create an experience where people could hear things that they might not be familiar with, and they might not be able to, they might not recognize that it is protest music. So I broke it into 4 sections for this presentation. The first section is about the environment. The second section is about migration. The third section is about war, and the last section is about women's rights. In the first section, we're going to hear 2 songs per section. The second song that we'll hear during this environment segment is from an artist named Ray Zaragoza, and she's a young woman of color with an indigenous background, and when she learned about what was happening at Standing Rock, she decided to travel there with her sister and partake in that protest movement, and she wrote almost an entire album during that time period. And the song that I'm going to play is called Fight for You, which is a great song about what was happening there, what was happening to the people, the native people that were living there, and what was happening to the protesters who were there to support them. To start this segment off, though, we're going to start with Billy Bragg, who is kind of the reason that I found protest music and discovered that it wasn't just this small little window, and he was somebody that really impacted my music kind of exploration when I was a kid. So Billy Bragg is somebody who's written thousands and thousands of songs about many different topics, and this one he wrote in 2013 about climate change. And yeah, that's all I'm going to say about that. So we have a video presentation. It's not much of a presentation, mostly just lyrics on the screen, but there are some visuals to kind of aid in the message of the song. So we can play that first video.
it be wonderful if we could save the world and all, simply by collecting up tin cans and empty bottles? We all want to believe it's true, but it don't matter what you do, so long as we continue to burn our way through fossils. Now it should come as no surprise to learn about the ocean's rise. Polar caps are melting with every year that the planet warms. Now people have to understand, we're gonna feel it far inland. It's gonna shift the seasons and supercharge the storms. King tide is a-coming, king tide is a-coming, king tide is a-coming, bringing flooding on a sunny day. King tide is a-coming, can't you hear the meltwaters running? King tide is a-coming, gonna sweep everything away. And you know, the oceans, they connect us all. No one can just build a wall. We have to work together. We can't do this on our own. To think that you can stand aside is nothing more than foolish pride, 'cause everyone's a libertarian till the brown water floods their home. Now you may live on higher ground, feeling like you're safe and sound, thinking as you look around, this is your lucky day. But everyone beneath the sky soon be looking for somewhere high and dry. Nothing you can ever do will keep them all at bay, because the king tide is a-coming, the king tide is a-coming, the king tide is a-coming, bringing flooding on a sunny day. King tide is a-coming, can't you hear the meltwaters running? The king tide is a-coming, gonna sweep everything away. The king tide is a-coming, you have to act today.
Save the river, save the seas, save the mother and her family. How can you take what you want and say that we are free? If you put oil in the water, we won't sit quietly. And they were singing, stand up for what's right. Don't walk silently into the night. Take my hand and we'll see us through. If you fight for me, I'll fight for you. Save the oceans and the trees, save the people who are in need. How can you do what you want and say you come in peace? If you don't open your eyes, how can you see? And we were cheering, stand up for what's right. Don't walk silently into the night. Take my hand and we'll see us through. If you fight for me, I'll fight for you. Don't look down when we march downtown for some truth, 'cause
For this time in our service, our moments of the heart, you were invited to light a candle for something deep in your heart. Martha Kitteridge, today's pastoral care associate, will join us at the candles in the front and has a basket of cards for joys and concerns you'd like shared with the congregation. She also has blank cards and pens if you'd like to write something now. Please be mindful to only share your own news, share with permission, or to share without names. As the music plays, I invite you to come forward or go to the table in the back. And Dylan is going to be playing What's Going On, Marvin Gaye, another selection Chris will speak about. We have some concerns this morning to share. Steve wants everyone to know he's starting his radiation treatments tomorrow. So we're sending healing thoughts. Not a problem. We're sending healing thoughts, of course. Please hold in your hearts those courageous U.S. EPA employees who signed a letter of dissent with their names who now face disciplinary action for exercising their First Amendment rights. For our children, for our country that is crumbling, our earth that is being decimated, for our children, that they can forgive us. Cousins lost their 30-year, it's just Hodgkin's disease, I'm sorry if I got that wrong. The children of Gaza, and to our dear friend Cindy Kellogg, who died much too young of Alzheimer's. Her celebration of life will be here at 11 o'clock on Tuesday. For those who feel frightened, heartbroken, angry, or all the above, because of the daily political decisions occurring in our country, they're the very opposite of our UU values. May we not lose faith or our power to fight for what we know is right. Let us open our minds and hearts to the place of quiet, to the silent prayer for the healing of pain, and the soft, gentle coming of love. Please join me in singing Spirit of Life. The words will be on the screen.
Thanks, Dylan. Dylan's last selection, Marvin Gaye's What's Going On, was an anthemic song from the early 70s that really spoke to the post-Vietnam situation in America and the struggle that veterans coming home were going through. And it was a pretty powerful, the whole album, it's a concept album, it was a pretty powerful time in the Motown movement, actually. It was a lot of the protest music that was happening during the 60s was very white, and it was very American, and he kind of approached it from the African-American experience and the inner city experience, so it was a perfect choice. So Migration is set 2. There's 2 songs in this section. Both are by the same artist, and both are by an artist who most people would never consider a protest songwriter. But I personally think he's probably one of the greatest songwriters that our time has seen. If anybody who here loves music doesn't know who Josh Ritter is, you're welcome, because he is, I would easily put him in the category of Paul Simon or Leonard Cohen or some of the other great songwriters of all time. These 2 songs he wrote in 2019, he kind of wrote them to be kind of components of one another and performed them live mostly. They didn't hit an album until a little later on, and he does a great job, a masterful job of telling the story of American migration through 2 perspectives. The first perspective is as an American citizen, and the pure disgust of what he was witnessing at the time during that particular administration, what was happening to families who were trying to seek a better life coming to America, and how they were being treated. And I'm sorry, a lot of these topics are not the most uplifting for a Sunday morning. I apologize for that, but you know, I think very important. And then in the second song, he uses a beautiful metaphor to tell the story of a migrant family coming from Central America. And it's a devastating story, sorry. I'm just gonna preface it with that. But I don't think I need to say any more about it. You just need to listen to these 2 songs. So, thank you.
I saw my brother in a stranger's face. I saw my sister in a smile. My mother's laughter in a far-off place. My father's footsteps in each mile. I thought I knew who my neighbor was. We didn't need to be redeemed. Oh, what could I have been thinking of? Was it all some kind of dream? I saw my country in the hungry eyes of a million refugees. Between the rocks and the rising tide, as they are tossed across the sea. There was a time when we were them, just as now they all are we. Was there an hour when we took them in, or was it all some kind of dream? I saw the children in the holding pans, I saw the families ripped apart. And though I try, I cannot begin to know what it did inside their hearts. There was a time when we held them close and weren't so cruel, oh and mean. And we did good unto the least of those, or was it all some kind of dream? I saw justice with a tattered hem, I saw compassion on the run, but I saw dignity in spite of them. I prayed its day would finally come. There was a time when we chose our sides, and we refused to live between. We rose to fight for what we knew was right, or was it all some kind of dream? Last night I lay in my true love's bed, and she lay there close beside, and we lay thinking about what lay ahead, and wondering if the sun would rise. For it seems that these are darker days than any others that we've seen. Oh, how we wish that we weren't wide awake, this was all some kind of dream. Oh, how we wish that we weren't wide awake, this was all some kind of dream.
Left home by dark of night, Joseph and my boy and I. When all the gunmen were asleep, we slipped into the forest. We left everything behind, Joseph and my boy and I. Took only what we had to keep, in the hopes they would not find us. We prayed our prayers, we broke our bread with others who had even less, till finally all we had were dreams, and we hoped that they would fill us. We lived on roots in the bark of trees, Joseph and my boy and me. Drank the water from the stream and hoped it would not kill us. A man offered a change of luck, all we had for a cargo truck, with 50 others in the back. They shut the door behind us. It got so hot we could not breathe, Joseph and my boy and me. When we arrived, the sky was black. That's where I buried Joseph. The river stole away my shoes, the soles of both my feet were bruised. My boy lay silent in my arms, his dreams were deep and soundless. The day was long, the sun was high, a hammer on an anvil sky. By the wall I fell and cried, for death was all around us. They found me there where I had slipped, put handcuffs tight around my wrists, shackles tied around my legs, as if I could escape you. And since I could not hold my babe, you took my only boy away. Though I plead and though I beg, you won't say where he's gone to. I'm tired now, my eyes are dry, it's only me alone tonight, in a land I thought would be ours if we could make it. A land that welcomes strangers in, a land that beckoned like a friend. If I had the chance again, I'd rather die than take it. The Holy Family got away, a simpler time, a simpler place. Egypt stretched out its great hand to welcome them with mercy. Now Joseph's dead out on the road, my boy is gone and I don't know where he is or where I am, with every breath that hurts me. You who watched from your great gates, watched us as we met our fates, and took our pride and stole our babes. You will one day die of something. But as you rest your weary head, your family close around your bed, may your thoughts all fly instead to the ones who you gave nothing. The naked one, the starving child, crawled the final brutal miles through blood and filth and rock and wire, in the hopes of only living. May the pain within you dwell, may it follow you to hell, all alone in a tiny cell, forever unforgiven. May the pain within you dwell, may it follow you to hell, all alone in a tiny cell, forever unforgiven.
I know it's a lot. But now we're going to lighten things up and talk about war a little bit. To me, migration is such a, in the world of protest, in the world of story, it revolves around everything. You can't have environmental issues and not talk about migration. You can't have war issues and not talk about migration, or fascism. All of these things, migration is at the core of all of them. So it is like it's a connector of these stories. I do have to give Josh a little bit of props there for that last line of really driving it home that it's okay to feel angry and maybe even a little hateful towards people who are causing this suffering. So anyway, on to section 3, war. I feel like there's 100,000 songs that could be talked about right now, and we could, go back in history to all the great songs that have been written about war, but I think it would be somewhat irresponsible not to focus on one of the most devastating wars that our generation has ever seen in Palestine. And there's two songs here in this segment. The first song is called Palestine, and it was written by Jim Page back in 2002. And one of the important things I think about protest music is that these songs belong to the people, and they are alive, and they change. Some of the greatest protest songs start with a message about one topic, and then they develop over time and over injustices, and they become used to tell a different story at a different time. And this is an example of that with Christy Moore, an Irish folk singer who in his own right is one of the great protest singers of all time, chose to remake this Jim Page song last year with what was happening in Palestine. So I think it's a really great example of that tradition of the song staying alive, being reworked. Even though this time it's being reworked for the same topic, it is being updated and kind of rewritten for what is happening right now. The second song is by an artist, Macklemore, who's kind of a white hip-hop artist who has really done an amazing job of using his platform to help tell the story of other oppressed people, and has done a really good job, I think, of getting out of the way and not making it about himself, and allowing the stories to be told through the voice of the people that are experiencing it. And this is a perfect example. He wrote the original song, Heinz Hall, just Heinz Hall, was written, and he reworked it, and he brought in a Palestinian artist to basically write a whole section of it and rap over the center of the song. So actually what we're playing today is Heinz Hall 2, and Heinz Hall was the name that the Columbia students had given to Hamilton Hall when they occupied it during the encampment in 2024, I guess it was a year and a half ago. And it was named after Hind Rajab, who was a 5-year-old, I can't even tell the story because it's so devastating, a 5-year-old Palestinian girl who was killed in a car with her entire family, or 6 members of her family, while on the phone with the Red Crescent dispatch to try to get help. So here you go. Here's 2 songs about what's happening in Palestine right now.
Let me tell you a story. I'll be quick as I can. There's terrible news from the Holy Land. Pictures of children etched in my mind, buried in the rubble on the firing line. The Jews and the Arabs lived one and the same for 1,000 years, till the Zionists came. They came like a river, came like a flood. Al-Nakba were written on the walls in blood. They talk about settlers from far away. They talk about dollars from the USA. There's talk about blast bombs, about the bullets and the lead. The shadow with the jackboot hanging over their head. What can you do when they demolish your home? Your olive trees, all buried and gone. Do you dare to resist? Stand on the road with a rock in your fist in Palestine. In Palestine, they talk about peace like it's a moral obligation. you'll never have peace under occupation. They talk about talks to the beat of the drum. 70 years, nothing gets done. We need to talk about the friends that we endorse, about the rockets and the tanks and the warships they disperse. No wonder it seems to be an undemocratic version of democracy in Palestine. In Palestine. Let me tell you a story. I'll be quick as I can. There's terrible news from the Holy Land.
In our lifetime we will be free. One day when the light shines we will be free. In our lifetime we will be free. And they can bury us, but they will find out we are seeds. I say free Palestine because I know of every massacre we suffered. The Nakba, Sabra, Shatila, and Rafah. My people have died a million times in this struggle. Still they rise from the tide like a rose through the rubble. I see God himself in the eye of a refugee who'd rather die a martyr than live a life under siege. So if I'm not allowed to say from the river to the sea, then from the Rhine to the sea, Palestine will be free. Still they know they can't shake us. $1 billion sword to the neck. Death cannot break us. And every Palestinian refugee holds a key. One day we will return, no matter how long it takes us. In our lifetime we will be free. One day when the light shines we will be free. In our lifetime we will be free. And they can bury us, but they will find out we are seeds.
I'm grateful to be alive. You appreciate life when you survive a genocide. Look in my eyes and tell me what you see. Ran out of tears to cry, right till Palestine is free. Got a problem with a system that doesn't want us existing. Turn the city to a prison that's missing living conditions. My mom's calling, she's telling me she kinda scared. I hear the bombs falling, I smell of death up in the air. My uncle lost his children, I lost my cousins. His tears watered the grave to let him know we still love some. Our schools turn to shelters for the rich and poor. I just pray for peace when I speak, I don't wish for war. Bodies laying out, ain't nothing to play about. I give my people hope, cause I'm the first who made it out. I'm just walking the path, this is God's plan. Building up my dreams with the rubble I touch with my hands.
يلمع النور ومنكن حرين في حياتنا منكن حرين لو دفنونا نرجع مزهرين. They done woke up the world now. We know who you serve at the White House. To kids and guys on my bow right now. I'ma ride for your life like you are my child. Long live the resistance if there's something to resist. Had enough of you motherfuckers murdering little kids. PC for a minute, I was trying to be a bridge. But there'll never be freedom by pleading with Zionists. World screaming free Palestine. We see the manual, we know how you colonized. You'd be surprised by how many fucks you actually really don't give. When you take away the power of the almighty dollar sign. Fuck the allure. We'll boycott the stores. Capitalism killing us, that's something we can't afford. They want us to hate each other in the interest of war. Afraid of the mosque and afraid of like the menorah. Hey Kamala, I don't know if you listening, but stop sending money and weapons or you ain't winning Michigan. We uncommitted and hell no, we ain't switching positions because the whole world turned Palestinian. I see the murdered children of Gaza and I see my babies. Life being stripped from the bombs we're making. When will Congress decide a Palestinian's life is just as precious as an Israeli's? We don't own the earth, don't own the earth. We're killing each other over some lines in the dirt. We bleed the same blood, feel the same hurt. Palestinian life, does it have the same worth? What happened to us? What happened to us?
Wow. Each week, we have an offering for our split plate program. That means that undesignated donations are split between the fellowship and our charity of the month, unless you indicate otherwise. This month, we're supporting Engage Long Island, which was originally created as Long Islanders for Gun Safety in response to the tragedy in Parkland. They relaunched as Engage Long Island to better reflect their broader mission and goals. As a grassroots group, they mobilize volunteers to stand up for vulnerable communities and share progressive ideals. As upstanders, they engage with voters, advocate on issues such as gun violence, prevention, reproductive freedom, protecting democracy and LGBTQ+ rights, and serve our Long Island communities. Some of their recent initiatives and events which have required funding included painted canvas tote bags filled with toiletries for Jericho Cares, North Shore Soup Kitchen and New Immigrant Mothers, and blanket making for Long Island Coalition for the Homeless, among many other initiatives. Ushers will now be passing the baskets while Dylan plays, and for those of you who are at home, you can send a check to the office or donate through the website, Zelle, or PayPal. Thank you all for your support of the work we do both within and beyond these walls.
So before moving on to this next topic, I just want to reference that last video. I added a few images in there of some journalists who had been killed during this conflict, and I think it's really relevant because I think if you look historically at protest songwriting and the people who did it, especially if you look to like the greats in England and Ireland and in early America, Woody Guthrie, they in a lot of ways they were journalists. They traveled around they listened to people's stories, and then they took that information and wrote it into a song, and then traveled to another location and played that song. And that is journalism. They were journalists. They were gathering stories from people, and they were exposing those stories to a broader audience. So I just think it's a pretty relevant correlation. You know, before TikTok and the internet, it was buskers and songwriters that would spread the word. So on to women's rights. I am clearly not the person qualified to be speaking on this issue, but I think we're going to hear from two women who are very qualified to speak on this. The first is, actually I'll talk about the second one, is a song that was written for a movement called 1 Billion Rising, which was a movement to, it was a call to action and to bring women's issues together as a singular movement globally. So whether it's what was happening in parts of Africa to oppressed women there, or in the Middle East, or in America, what was happening to the rights of women that they had fought and gained. They were trying to, or indigenous populations where women are at the forefront of those communities and what was happening to them because of the environmental issues that were going on. So this woman, I never pronounce her name right, Tanai Sali, I think it is, right? Is it written up there? Help me. Taina Sali, right. She writes this song, and it is we're going to end on a good note. It has a lot of energy in it. It feels like a celebration, and I feel like there are multiple ways that protest music can be conveyed. One gives you a sense of sadness. We've obviously heard those. One gives you a sense of anger. I feel like we've kind of touched on those, but really, I think one of the most promising ones is the one that kind of energizes you and makes you feel like you have some power to make change. And this song, I think, definitely accomplishes that. And the first song is from an artist out of England who is a non-binary artist who has written just an amazing album last year from start to finish in 2024. This song, Meanwhile in Texas, is about what's happening here in America and the abortion issue and what has happened in specifically in Texas. And you know, she lives in England where this is not necessarily her fight, but she finds, you know, that these movements need solidarity. We need cross-pollination between something that you might feel really strongly in and something that somebody else feels strongly in. We are much more powerful together. So when these movements kind of come together and cross oceans, they become much more impactful. So the last two songs of the program.
Tears and fought this war. Things my mother struggled for, the same wolf at the door. High and mighty in the Supreme Court, known abusers never caught. Snatched the rights for which we fought, and now their word is law. Well, did you never think what we might lose? Giving free rein to Fox News and letting far-right ideologies become normal points of view. For some time, the canary in the mine, but when they come for some of our rights, all the rest are next in line. Meanwhile in Texas, all the laws are on the side of justice exists, so one may always be denied. And who will protect us if we can't find space to unite? As we divide and we debate, another rape survivor flees the state. Meanwhile in Texas, girls are gonna die. Time and all things have been the same. those in power, those in pain, those whose constant, ceaseless aim is taking back our choice, to rule our bodies and our lives, those who'd sooner see their wives be killed than be autonomized. So rise up and use your voice, and when you fight for Roe v. Wade, when that frontline stand is made, look around at who stands with you. When you meet that barricade, it won't be fundamentalists out protesting the word cis. Yeah, when we tear each other down, the winners are misogynists. Meanwhile in Texas, all the laws are on the side of just two sexes. So one may always be denied, and who will protect us if we can't find space to unite? As we divide and we debate, another rape survivor flees the state. Meanwhile in Texas, girls are gonna die. Meanwhile in Texas, girls are gonna die. Come on and tell me once again, do you think I'm exaggerating? Come on and tell me once again that things will be okay somehow. This ain't the time for hoping for the best and waiting. The fight for all our lives is here and now. Meanwhile in Texas, all the laws are on the side of just two sexes. So one may always be denied, and who will protect us if we can't find space to unite? As we divide and we debate, another rape survivor flees the state. As we divide and we debate, and we give space to lies and hate. As we divide and we debate, another rape survivor flees the state. Meanwhile in Texas, girls are gonna die tonight. In Texas, girls are gonna die.
One for a billion, 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 a million for one. One for a billion, 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 a million for one.
In a time of an upheaval will come a transformation, ignite a fire that will burn like the sun, become a strong movement, fierce and determined, informed by where we are and where we've come from. We are those who are rising from Manila to Miami, building trust and solidarity. Love is our bond. And in the streets we are marching to end the rape and the suffering, to stop the fascist tyranny. Organize as one. We are rising. We are rising. We are rising now. And in this life. From those who dare to interrupt the violence, to those who expose the truth and break the silence, warriors who work to open up the prison bars, valiant souls who stand up against the unjust wars, multitudes who defy walls along the border, masses who unify to protect our water, rebel minds who unionize for workers' rights, feel it's hard to fight to defend trans lives, those who take back their land and their health, those who seek to redistribute the wealth, youth who demand a right to education, those who reclaim political power in segregation, rape and abuse, racist discrimination, those who survive labor exploitation, colonization and gentrification, imprisonment, migration and militarization, homophobia and transphobic aggression, violence by police, reproductive oppression. But from the pain we will open eyes, awaken hearts and awaken minds, and that demands we intensify, strategically we are organized. Together we can raise the vibration through our action and imagination, respect, trust, and communication, and love for our future generations. Intersectional, inclusive, we come. Collective power is how this is won. We keep it rising like the fire of the sun. We will rise like the sun. We will rise like the sun.
Our closing words today are from the Reverend Dr. Linda Anderson. Sometimes we do what is wrong. Sometimes we do what is wrong. We feel out of control and helpless. We feel ashamed. Yet evil is not all we are. Sometimes we do what is right. We feel proud and courageous. We feel our strength. Yet good is not all we are. Like the wind, sometimes mild, sometimes fierce, we hold all the moods and the power inside us. We bring the soft rain and the wild storm. It is our nature to contain it all. May we have peace with who we are and with who we may be. May we have peace with who we have been, evil and good, foolish and wise, weak and strong. May we know all that we are, and may we have peace. Chris, if you can extinguish this flame. We extinguish this flame, but we keep its light in our hearts, with its message of love and justice, taking it outside these walls to the world we live in, until we are together again. Before Dylan plays the last song that Chris has chosen, Give Peace a Chance, Chris wanted me to tell you that there are 3 types of protest song. One that makes you feel sad because you're gaining an understanding of the plight of people. One that makes you angry because of an injustice that's being exposed to you. And one that makes you feel hopeful because it's giving you a better way forward. Give peace a chance is the 3rd type. John Lennon is simply asking us to give this way of compassion a chance, and it can change the world. Feel free to sing along. Let's please give Chris Thaler a round of applause for choosing these moving songs and for making us think about music in a different way. Thank you. And thank you, Dylan. Chris is going to stay after the service if you want to grab, I have a few announcements, so you can't leave yet. But if you want to grab some lemonade or beverage and just come back in and chat with him. And thank you, Dylan. Thank you for Sound Room because they had a lot to do this morning. Next Sunday, Martha Kitteridge will speak about the power of breath explore, the subtle but vital energy of the breath that enlivens us and maintains our connection to ourselves and the interconnectedness of the world we live in. This month, our art gallery features the photos of member Alex Wolf. He'll be available to speak about his underwater adventures and photography at his opening tomorrow, July 7th from 6 to 8 p.m. If you walk in the gallery, you'll feel very much under the sea today, which is great. We have opera night next Friday at 7:30 here. The program features excerpts from popular operas, and fellowship member Rich Bewley-Neymar will be performing. Doors open at 7, and you can find the information in the flash. And please join us next Sunday, July 13th at noon in the social hall to make protest signs. A perfect segue, right, after today. We'll be making signs as a group. We'll have poster boards, markers, snacks. Come ready to brainstorm your wittiest slogans and most passionate messages. Let us gather together as a community to lean on each other, uplift each other, and get ourselves ready for the next protest. Respond to Danielle Burby or Melissa Dinsman so they know how many people will be here. You can see these and all other events in our weekly flash, which arrives on Thursdays. If you don't get it, please visit our website and sign up, uufh.org. Please have a wonderful day, and again, thank you, Chris.